Right. So a lot of the time I get asked the question, how much money do you get to save in China? Right? I think you've heard a lot about the saving potential of teaching in China. So today I want to break down the cost of living for me as I teach in China by month. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the exact costs, and some of them are going to be estimates of me living in China. Right? What's the cost of living in China? And if you do choose to get a job in China, all you have to do is take the money that you're going to make, minus it by my estimate, and you'll get an idea of how much money you can save every month. Okay, so what are some of the big costs of living in China once you come here? So first thing is obviously going to be rent. For rent, for me right now, I have a one-bedroom apartment. This one bedroom apartment is about 70 square meters. 70 square meters is about 700 square feet. And it costs me right now, do everything in one RMB, 1,500 RMB. Okay. Now for this, there's a 1,500 deposit that I also have to put down, but I get that back in the end, so that's okay. My electricity. Now, electricity is going to range throughout the year because when it gets hot, we're going to want to turn on the air conditioning. When it's cold, we're going to turn on the heat. So all that actually should average right now. It's going to average out. Okay, so for the winter months, sometimes I get just over 200. For the summer month as well, 200, 300. But in general, it's just 100 to 150 on most months. So I'm going to average 150. Now, water. Okay, water is actually quite cheap in China. We do have to pay for it, however. But right now, I'm paying about 40 RMB a month for water, which is actually quite a bit. I use a lot of water. Internet. So there are two options with internet. You can install cable, which I did. So I have internet installed through my home, and that's 600 RMB per year. So that's about 50 RMB per month, right? Or really the second option is to include it as part of your cell phone plan. I think for about 100 RMB a month, you actually get unlimited data where I'm at, which is in Suzhou. And so a lot of people just like to hotspot their phone and connect that to their laptop because it's just uh, it works, but it's not as fast, obviously, as a dedicated internet connection. I don't have that. Right now, my cell phone plan is 30 gigabytes per month. I get, I think, 200 minutes. And right now it costs me about 40 RMB per month for that. Okay. So cell phone. Now, food. Okay. Food. What do I eat? Well, I'm guilty. I only order delivery. Once you get to China, you'll realize how convenient it is to order delivery here. So I don't actually cook. Now, if I did, things would be cheaper, but I don't cook. The average delivery in China in Suzhou costs about 30 RMB per delivery. In other areas, it's going to be cheaper than that. But anywhere you can expect to spend about 20 to 30 RMB per meal if you order delivery. So let's just pretend this is going to be a big cost, right? So this is going to be 30 per meal. Let's say I order delivery for dinner 5 times a week, and then on weekends I order deliveries twice a day. Okay, let's do that. So I order delivery 9 times, 9 times every week, and for 4 weeks. Okay, 4 weeks. So 9 times 4 is 36. 36 times 30. It's going to be just over 1,000 RMB per month for food if I have delivery every meal. Now, if you're gonna go out and eat at Western restaurants, like if you want steak in Shanghai, that's like American prices, or maybe even more expensive. It gets up there. It can go up there. Okay, but this is just me. Now, if you choose to cook at home, It's even cheaper. Costs probably about half as much to cook at home for all those meals. Okay. For breakfast, breakfast I usually have a combination of eggs and milk and all that. Now the milk here, I got 12 liters of milk actually just behind me, cost me about 120 RMB, and 12 liters of milk will last me for just about a month. Okay, so let me just add that onto there. So I've got 1200. Bread cost about 15 to 20 RMB for a bag, and a bag lasts about a week for me if I have it every day. So I guess for 4 weeks, let's just add another 100 just to be safe, okay? Now, if you go out with friends, you go out for drinks, that's going to cost a bit more, but I don't do that, so it's going to be a bit cheaper for me. Okay, now transportation. Transportation is, oopsies, transportation. Transportation is actually super cheap in China. It costs about 10 RMB to get into a taxi and go anywhere really within a 2-3 kilometer radius, 4 kilometer radius, I think. And I do that like maybe like once or twice, maybe 3-4 times a month, depending on where you live, right? It's gonna cost differently. Now, if you're gonna go into like a different city to like, I don't know, go for drinks or go to a specific restaurants, and cost a bit more. But in general, for me right now, just because sometimes I go into Shanghai, and me going to Shanghai literally takes an hour and a half, and that costs me about 350 RMB. I do that about once a month. Okay, so there and back, let's just say 700 RMB for a trip to Shanghai. Now I'm living it up. I take a taxi for an hour and a half to go to Shanghai to like eat for a day, right? Like that's, you don't have to do that, but I do that, right? And if you don't do that, buses in China cost about 2 RMB per ride, so it's really a negligible cost. Okay, but transportation, it's there. Now, some people also get a scooter, and a scooter for electric scooters costs about 3, maybe 4,000 RMB for a scooter, but obviously that's a one-time cost. Okay, so what do we have? We have rent, electricity, water, internet, cell phone, food, transportation, entertainment. Okay, entertainment, we're thinking about probably going to be like KTV, going to watch the movies, and you know that's really about it. KTV, if I watch like a movie, it's going to cost about 30 to 40 RMB. If I go to KTV, it's going to be costing about 50 to 70 RMB, depending on whether or not I decide to get food. If I get a massage, it's going to be like 120 to like 200 RMB. So if I factor in like 1 or 2 movies a month, 1 or 2 massages a month, and KTV once a month, that's probably going to be about 500. So that's just like a rough estimate. Again, these costs are just me, okay? Like you don't have to spend this money. This is not a necessity. Like the stuff up here, that's necessity, okay? So I'm not going to include expenses like if you want to go on vacation, right? If you want to go on vacation, a plane ticket to anywhere within China is going to cost round trip between 1,000 to 1,500 RMB per ticket. And if you're staying at a hostel, it's going to be under 100 RMB. But if you want to stay at a nicer hotel, it can be anywhere from 300 to 500 RMB to even like 1,500 RMB if you want to stay at like the Shangri-La or something. I'm not going to include those costs here. So let's add this up. Okay? And these costs are already me like living it up. Like I don't actually spend this much on entertainment every year. Okay, so 4,280 RMB. Now, so this is RMB. Now, if I wanted to get Canadian dollars, right now the exchange rate is 5.11. Okay, 800 bucks. If I want to get it in USD, right now the exchange rate I believe is about 6.91. Okay, so oopsies. 6.91. Okay, so it says 600 US dollars. Okay, now keep in mind the average salary for somebody that is a certified teacher. I'm a certified teacher in China, is actually about 4,000 to 5,000 Canadian dollars after tax. Okay, so after tax, so you get around there. It ranges pretty significantly. I know some teachers get 7 to 8,000 dollars per month, and I know if you work in a place like Hong Kong, the starting salary for first year teachers there is I think like $160,000 USD. I think for one of the schools there, it was a Canadian, but anyways, it's crazy. It's six figures, right? For first year teacher if you get hired, right? But granted, most of the people that work at that school have like master's degrees, 7 years of 8 years of experience, and like practical experience in whatever they teach. And it's a high pressure job. Um, in another video, if you're interested in learning more, leave a comment down below. Maybe in another video, I'll break down on what my day is like, what work is like, how much money I make. If you're interested, like the video, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe to my channel if you want to learn more about teaching in China, or if you have any questions at all, just let me know. I'll make a video for you, and hopefully I was helpful. Okay, have a nice day. Leon out.